Hare Krishna. So, anyone has any preference? Any preference?
Yes, sir. I have some new songs in my phone.
I mean, I cannot fulfill all the desires, but I can see. I have my limitation.
Very, very new. My son is any.
Same one you want to say?
Parama Karuna.
Yeah, Parama Karuna.
Karuna is there.
Parama Karuna.
There are 10 songs.
Akaroda Paramananda. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Karamule. Goro Sukher Kavulai. Dana More Nityananda. Gai Gaur
Mother soil.
Mother Sure. Yedi Gaur Nahvaita. Nitai Guna Maniyavar. Gauranga Karuna Karo. Gauranga Boli Tehave. Nitai Patapavan. Dule Dule Gaur.
So which one you want?
Right? Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu.
Daya Karamune. It's becoming cold now.
Yeah, tomorrow onwards.
Done.
Done for this.
Good days are gone.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Karo More
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Karo More
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Karo More
Toma bina hai doyalu jagata samsare
Toma Bina Ke Doyalu Jagat Samsare
patita pavana hitu
Adita Pavana Hitu Tavavatara
Mosama patita prabhu napaive
Samapatita Prabhu Napaive महाप्रभु नित्यानंदा प्रेमानंद सुखी
महाप्रभु नित्यानंदा प्रेमानंद सुखी
प्रेमानंद
कृपावलोकना करो আমি বড় দুঃখী
कृपावलोकना करो আমি বড় দুঃখী
দয়া কর সীতাপতি অদ্বৈতা গোসাই
দয়া করো সীতাপতি অদ্বৈতা গোসাই
দয়া কর সীতাপতি অদ্বৈতা গোসাই
দয়া করো সীতাপতি অদ্বৈতা গোসাই
ভবা কৃপা বলে পাই
तव कृपा बले पाई चैतन्य निताई
गौरा प्रेमा माया तनु पंडित
गौर प्रेम माया तनु पंडित
श्रीनिवास हरि दशा दया
श्रीनिवास हरि रसा दोयर सगारा
स्वरूप सनातना रूपर
स्वरूप रूपर गुना
रूपर
स्वरूप रूपर गुना
भट्ट योगा शिवा प्रभु लोकना
जुगा शिवा प्रभु लोकनाथ
दया कर श्रीयाचार्य प्रभु श्रीनिवास
दया करो श्रीयाचार्य प्रभु श्रीनिवास
रामचंद्र संग्राम रे नरोत्तम
रामचंद्र संगमागे नरोत्तम
श्री कृष्ण
सीता प्रभु नाय
की जय, गौर भक्तवृंद की जय, गौर प्रेमानंद। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरू श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचना गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं भंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरम्। Which chapter we are on, Prabhu?
सर्वं भट्टाचार्य।
We read this, right? Yes. Really? So no notes. We were discussing all these vegetables, right?
This is not.
This is the last one we covered, like 100 men
Yeah.
cooking for 6 hours. Yeah. Are the slides changing on Zoom?
No, Prabhuji.
Please.
This is what we covered last time. Tatachulaya satajana pakaya dikare tabushigra eta dravya randitena pare. Even 100 men cooking on 100 stoves could not possibly finish all these preparations within so short of a time. This we covered.
कृष्णारे भोगा लग्नाच्या अनुमाना करी उपारी देखिया याते तुलसी मंजरी. I hope the food was already been offered to Krishna, since I see there are tulsi flowers on it.
So,
भाग्यवान तुम्ही सफला तुम्हारो न राधा कृष्ण लागा नाचत एकादृश होगा. You're most fortunate and your endeavor is successful, for you have offered such wonderful food to Radha Krishna.
good.
The color of the rice is so attractive and its aroma so good that it appears Radha and Krishna have directly taken. My dear Bhattacharya, your fortune is very great. How much shall I pay to you? I also am very fortunate to be able to take the remnants of this food.
So good.
Krishnera Asana Pita Vakha Uttama More Prasada Deva Vinna Patra Karina. Take away Krishna's sitting place and put it aside. Then give me prasadam on a different place.
Those were clear.
Bhattacharya Bale Prabhu Makaraha Vismaya Ekabe Talana Shakti Bhoga Siddhahaya. Sarabhava Bhattacharya said, it is not so wonderful, my lord. Everything has been made possible by the energy and mercy of him who will eat the food.
So he says, Vishmaya means don't be so much surprised. The person who is going to eat now is the one who has made all these arrangements.
Udyaganachila Mora Grihmira Radhani Yanva Sakte Boga Siddha Saitaha Jani. My wife and I did not especially exert ourselves in the cooking. He, by the whose the power the food has been prepared, knows everything.
एकाशने वशी करह भोजन प्रभु कहे पूजे Krishnirasana. Now please sit in this place and take your lunch. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, this place is worshipable because it was used by Krishna. According to etiquette, things used by Krishna should not be used by anyone else. Similarly, things used by a spiritual master should also not be used by anyone else. That is etiquette. Whatever is used by Krishna or the spiritual master is worshipable. In particular, their sitting or eating places should not be used by anyone else. A devotee must be very careful to observe.
Clear? Question?
Sometimes we are given as prasad, it's something like towel. Should we use that?
Yeah. If spiritual master is alive, we can use. If he leaves the planet, then we should worship him. We can use. Like we wear the Brahman thread, it is offered to Gopi Jana Vallabha. So we are using it for our purposes. Or once it is used by us, we take it as Mahaprasad. It just we never offer in that plate again. Like some bowl is used by the Lord and now we are using it, that's okay. Yeah, that's okay, we can use. So anything that we use, once we use it's contaminated, then we cannot, then we don't use again. But general etiquette is, suppose spiritual master always sits on this couch and eats, then we respect it. Or you go to spiritual master's room and he has something, so we respect it. Or he has a bed, so we respect it. And anything used by spiritual master, we respect it as worshipable. If he gives us as Mahaprasad, we can use. But once he leaves the planet, then anything we receive is worshipable. Like most of the devotees, many devotees have the cloth of Prabhupada. I know many devotees have worshipable now. But that time if Prabhupada gave a cloth to one of the disciples, they would wear. But now they won't do. Now it's worshipable.
So even the used one also they will use.
Use
They
one,
use the very
yeah, now then they can use generally. Okay.
बताता है अन्न प्रमाण प्रसाद अन्न का both the food and the sitting place are not same. If you can eat the remnants of the food, what is the offense in your sitting in this place?
So he's questioning. Prasad is also you eat, right? So why can't you sit? What is the offense there? You're using that, why can't you use this? Samatacharya is arguing. He want Mahaprabhu to sit here and eat. Mahaprabhu said here the Lord ate. So he said, don't play with me, sit here and eat. Actually, we should not use, but Mahaprabhu can obviously eat. That's why he's playing.
Yes, you have spoken correctly. The Shastras enjoin that the devotee can partake of everything left by Krishna.
So this clarifies. You can use everything used by the Lord. Like Lord, we are garland and we use it as mercy. Anything used by the Lord, In spiritual world also, whatever or we see, whatever Krishna would wear, he would give to Uddhav. Uddhav would wear all the Krishna's remedies. Spiritual world also, whatever Radha Krishna wears, they give it to those who have served them nicely, and that becomes their greatest treasure. And they use it, and they take a lot of pride in wearing it, because this is what given by Radha and Krishna to them. So it's usable. Yeah?
The garments and all, garments when we get it from temple, like after smelling, once they are dry, like want to be
We actually, one option is, usually they have Nirmalya in India, where you put it underground, or you kind of put them in a running water, holy rivers. But here we put in a carry bag, and then we put in trash. In America, we do it. Just being honest. Okay. We say, "My Lord, please forgive us," and then. But in our heart, we pay our obeisances to it. But for practical purposes, we put it there. Okay.
Is it keep it in the
Trees,
trees,
trees.
plants?
Yeah, but if you're living in temple, how many will you put on the trees?
New form trees. That's when we get it from temple, sometimes we leave it first.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
My dear Lord, the garments, scented substances, garment ornamented, and other such things that have been offered to you may later be used by your servants. By partaking of these things and eating the remnants of food you have left, we will be able to control this illusory energy. In the Hare Krishna movement, the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the dancing in ecstasy, and the eating of the remnants food offered to the Lord are very, very important. One may be illiterate or incapable of understanding the philosophy, but if he partakes of these three items, he will certainly be liberated without delay.
What are the three items?
Chanting, dancing, feasting.
Very nice. And this particular verse is Uddhav telling to Lord Krishna that anybody who uses anything offered to you, if it is used by the servants, in that way the servants can conquer the illusory energy. So that's why it's nice if you get some Mahaprasad. Use it. Whatever is usable, use it. For Radha Gopijan Vallabha, there is not much usable on daily basis, huh?
Only garland.
Instantaneous, that is also for one day. But there is not much usable that you can use for long run. But this Brahman thread is helpful because you just keep wearing it. But other than that, I don't see anything that you can use. Unless if you want to ornament yourself, there are many ornaments. But otherwise, but prasad is there every day. That will help us overcome the illusory energy.
Probably for towels which is used to Radha Gopi.
Yeah, you can use them. Yeah, anything used by the Lord, you can use them. Two options you have: either you worship them or you use them. But worship means you will keep it in somewhere and it will remain there. So rather you use it and just take it as Lord's mercy. I mean, different devotees have different views, but the essence is anything used by the Lord can be used by the devotees. Anything, garments, ornaments. But generally, it is said that we should not use in the body on unclean places. Generally, so towel becomes a little risky, but you can wear it on your head or something like that. You can use it. It is said that nushing oil also, when you say they tell you, yeah, put it here, but don't put it everywhere on the body also. Like just a matter of treating with respect. Okay.
Apipikam Sonamaya Bhattakahe Janikaha Yatekayuya. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu once said, there is so much food here that it is impossible to eat it all. The Bhattacharya replied, I know how much you can eat.
So this is a continuation of last week that we discussed. What all food was there? How much rice was there?
6 pounds.
Okay.
6 pounds more.
Yeah, it's like in Farmington Hills have this tray. One time I was thinking, so 4 trays like that. In one tray you feed like 70 people, right? 50 to 70. So 4 trays are kept, and it is in form of like this. Better. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is like, bring a plate. Naturally, somebody put serving trays full. What will you say? They say eat. What will you say? Please bring a plate, right? Or you will open the lid and obviously you won't do. You will have to bring. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very logically asking, bring a plate. Bhattacharya said, please eat it. There's little bit of contention there between the Lord and his pure devotee.
नीलाचली भोजना तुम्ही करा बयाना बरा एका भोगे राना तत्ता तत्ता भारा. After all, at the Jagannath Puri, we eat 52 times a day. And each time you ate 100 of buckets filled with prasad.
You know how they offer prasad in Jagannath Puri? You have been to Jagannath Puri? I know you would have been there. So how they do is, there is a matka. Matka you have say. They carry matkas like this. 2 matkas. Like there are hundreds of matkas. Everything goes to Jagannath. There is a Bhojanalaya. Jagannath Bhojanalaya. The whole room is filled with same items. Many. 52 items and hundreds of buckets. So how they do? Somebody told me that in Jagannath's kitchen there is like some 1,000+ stores. And half of the pandas, there are thousands of pandas, half of them are found in kitchen only, cooking. And how they cook is 7 pots in one stove. 1 pot on the top, 1 pot each has rice. 7 pot in one stove. Like that they cook. So we cannot understand. And then these pandas are very powerful people. So they carry like 3 pots and 3 pots. And they carry. So likewise, how much food is offered to Jagannath? Inconceivable. And he eats the whole thing 52 times. Bhavan. 52 times.
Is it 52 times offered?
Yeah, you have doubt, right? That's
Somebody said 6 times or something. Yeah, Chappan I don't know how many times.
Chappan is 56.
No, but how many times that Chappan
Goes.
Once or daily, twice. Somebody was saying twice or twice. I don't know. It is written 52.
Yeah, so maybe the standards change.
No.
This is Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami's time. The standard was like that. Why? Maharaj Pratap Rudra's influence me. But this is what Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami explains. Alright. Like in Radha Kunj Bihari, previously they would offer 4 plates at 4 altars. After COVID came, now they're offering 1 plate. One people said 1 is enough, they all will share. So they said, okay, we'll offer 1. So the standard may change. Okay.
Dwarakate 16 Sahasra Maheshi Mandire Ashtadashamatara Yadaveda. At Dwaraka, you keep 16,000 queens in 16,000 palaces. Also, there are 18 mothers and numerous friends and relatives of the Yadu dynasty.
Seems better. So who are the 18 mothers? I don't know. But 16,000 queens we know. 16,108 queens, and everybody cooks for Krishna and he eats everywhere. So he's basically convincing him that please eat.
In Vrindavana, you also have your father's elder brother, your father's younger brother, maternal uncle, husbands of your father's sisters, and many cowherd men. There are also cowherd men, and you eat twice a day, morning and evening, on the house of each and everyone.
Quite inconceivable, something that we never heard before. But Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami explains. They all love Krishna, so they invite Krishna, goes and eat. So in Vrindavan also he eats a lot.
In comparison to that, this small quantity of morsel for you. Bhumika, Ishvara, Muni, Shudra, Jiva, Eka, Grasha, Madhukara, Harasa, Angikara. You are the supreme personality of Godhead, whereas I am a most insignificant living being. Therefore, please accept a little quantity of food from my house. The word Madhukari comes from the word Madhukara and means honey collecting bees. Bees collect a little honey from each flower. Being a sannyasi, Lord Prabhu could cut a little food from the Bhattacharya, and this was the Bhattacharya's request. Compared to the food eaten by the Lord on the other occasions, the Bhattacharya's feast was not even a morsel.
Understood? Sannyasis do madhukari. So just like a honey goes to different flowers and take a little quantity of honey from each flower. So likewise, the Lord has lot of hunger, but here is a little quantity for you from the house of this poor Sarva Bhattacharya. So please eat it. That's the intention.
Ekashunihasi Prabhu Vasila Bhojane Jagannatera Prasadam Bhakta Dena Harshamani. Hearing this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu smiled and sat down to eat. The Bhattacharya, with great pleasure, first offered him the prasadam from the Jagannatha temple.
So Mahaprabhu said, all right, I will eat everything. So he sat down. So first he offered Jagannath Mahaprasad and then everything that he cooked.
At this time, the Bhattacharya had a son-in-law named Amogha, who was the husband of his daughter Sati. Although born in the aristocratic Brahmana family, Amogha was a great fault finder and blasphemer.
Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami says that he was a great fault finder among small things. You find fault.
Amogha wanted to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu eat, but he was not allowed to enter. Indeed, the Bhattacharya guarded the threshold of his house with a stick in his hand.
He was serving, but he would keep a stick by the door.
Mm.
If a moga comes, right? Because he knows that his tendencies he would find fault. So if he comes and sees Lord Chaitanya, he would commit an offense. He knew, so he didn't want him to come.
However, as soon as the Bhattacharya began distributing prasadam and was a little inattentive, Amoda came in. Seeing the quantity of food, he began to blaspheme.
Hmm. So now the pastime will begin.
This much food is sufficiently satisfied Tala well known. But the that is another people.
So he started criticizing. 10 to 12 men can eat, but this sannyasi, see, he eats so much. He's a voracious eater. So what was Mahaprabhu's response?
Bhattacharya Ulati Kapila Chandra Avadhana Abheti Amogha Pala. As soon as Amogha said this, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya turned his eyes upon him. Seeing the Bhattacharya's attitude, Amogha immediately left.
He was really guarding. And he came and he spoke and he was angry. So Bhattacharya, he looked at Amogha with anger in his eyes, like, finish. He ran away. You know that job is done. Run now. So how will we respond if somebody invites you, your friend or somebody invite you to their home and you eat, and one of the family member come and say, this much food you eat, 10 or 12 people food you are eating alone. What will you do?
Depends on the mood. Which mode is working?
Which mode is working? What will we do if somebody invites us and then criticizes us?
We understand the feelings. It is not a
Mode of goodness is
intention.
working.
His intention was good, right?
Sarvam Bhattacharya intention, yes, his intention was very good. But Amogha criticized. So what was Mahaprabhu's response?
Continue.
He continued eating. Okay, there's something very specific he did. He's supposed to eat.
Who did you last?
बटाट्याला तिलाना मारिते धाईला पलाईला मग अमोघ तारा लगाना पळेला. The Bhattacharya ran after him to strike him with the stick, but Amogha fled as fast that Bhattacharya could not catch him.
He's a young man, his daughter's husband.
Begalin Shapadite Bhattacharya Nindashani Mahaprabhu Ashite Lagila. The Bhattacharya then began to curse his son-in-law and call him in names. When the Bhattacharya returned, he saw that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was laughing to hear him. It says,
So what was Mahaprabhu's response when he was criticized? Huh?
He started laughing.
I started laughing. And this is like kind of consistent Mahaprabhu's response when he was criticized. Can you think of another instance where Mahaprabhu was criticized and he smiled? That's all. We'll see. Oh, this comes. Okay, I put 1 or 2 slides from the Uddhav Gita, which talks about the tolerance. Okay, let's read.
Guru One Heart. A sober person, even when harassed by other living beings, should understand that his aggressors are acting helplessly under the control of God. and thus he should never be distracted from progress on his own path. This rule I have learned from the earth. The earth is the symbol of tolerance. By deep oil drilling, atomic explosions, pollution, and so on, the earth is constantly harassed by demoniac living entities. Sometimes lush forests are cut down by greedy men with commercial interests, and thus a wasteland is created. Yet, despite all these disturbances, the earth continues to provide all the necessities of the living beings. In this way, one may learn the art of tolerance by studying the earth.
So this is something that he learned from Mother Earth. There are 24 gurus, one of them is Earth. And he learned how the earth is tolerating different harassment by living entities. Sometimes she goes to Brahma, please help me. I'm getting too much harassed. But most of the times, rarely she goes because it was time for Krishna to listen. Otherwise, she tolerates. She doesn't say anything.
Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has also emphasized the tree's quality of tolerance. Taroriva Sahishna Kirtaniya Sadhana. One who is as tolerant as a tree can chant the holy name of Krishna constantly, finding ever new satisfaction.
So what we should do if we are constantly being kind of tested? And what do we do? Somebody says, smile. Very difficult actually. But you can try that. Try to follow that. Smile.
In the Bhagavad Gita, I think Sri Prabhupada beautifully simply defines tolerance as tolerance means that one should be practiced to bear insult.
This is what Prabhupada definition of tolerance. One should be practiced to bear insult and dishonor from others. But Mahaprabhu wants us to practice this. Not easy. Mahaprabhu wants us. So best thing to do in that circumstances, smile. And from your heart, you will smile. You really feel happy about it. That's great. If you can smile in those situations. Prakash and Saraswati.
When the Mayavadi philosopher saw his Sanyasi devoted to the remote corner of life, singing and dancing on the street, they blessedly said, this special Mahaprabhu is an intimate Sanyasi and therefore does not know his real function. Guided only by his sentiments, he wanders about in the temple of other sentimentalists.
Somebody tells us, he's an illiterate. For us, he's an illiterate. And he's bhavuka, sentimental, that's all. He has nothing else to do, so this is what he is doing. And he wanders around in the company of other sentimentalists. So what was Mahaprabhu's response? It's a good criticism. Illiterate sannyasi, he is just sentimental. What was Mahaprabhu's response when he was told this is what they're talking about you? Yeah, you got it, bro.
This statement would have been very painful for anyone to hear. However, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not express even a tinge of anger. His reaction to this criticism is described beautifully in the argument.
Has it happened that somebody calls you and say, that person told like this about you negatively? Has it ever happened in your life? Somebody never happened? Okay. Somebody calls you and say, hey, this person told that you are like this and you are like this and you are like this negatively about you. Never happened. So, yep.
I don't remember.
Don't remember. She clearly remembers. No?
Yeah, many times.
Many times. Oh. What happened to you? Srisha Mataji? Happened? Hashi Mataji happened to you? No? Okay, very good. So what is our reaction? When people speak bad about us to somebody else, and that somebody else tells us, or this person is speaking bad about you. Usually what is our instant reaction?
Oh, that is wrong.
That's very good. I mean, that's not very good, but that's our reaction. We try to prove, or we try to show them down also. They don't understand this. Try to make them that we try to put back, like somebody throws arrow and we throw back onto them. What else we do?
Defend, basically.
We are defending. What else we do?
Angry.
We become upset. This person. Keep it. Next time this person meet us, I know we'll not say anything, but we'll not be pleasant with them. We'll greet them, but we'll keep it for a long time. This is who you are. This is what you told about me. It happened to all of us, natural. But what it says that Mahaprabhu, his reaction, Mahaprabhu did not express even a tinge of anger. Instead,
The statement would have been very painful for anyone to hear. However, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not express even a tinge of anger. His reaction to his criticism is described beautifully in the Adi Leela. Prabhu, हाथे माने माने अपेक्षा करिया करो नाकेला संभाषण. Hearing all this blasphemy, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu merely smiled to himself, rejected all these accusations and did not talk with the Mayavadi.
so what was Mahaprabhu's response? He merely smiled to himself and he rejected all these accusations. He did not, somebody said, prove. Yeah, he did not try to do that. But he in his heart rejected those accusations. Somebody says he's illiterate. He smiled in a way that he knows the truth. He knows that it is a fault. It is not a fact. So he smiled and he just rejected. But that's all. And he did not talk with the Mayavadis. Like, there is no point, because if you feed milk to a snake, what will happen? Poison increases. So we should not feed milk to those who are envious to us. What will happen? You are making them commit more offenses. You should not do that. In the name of even repairing relationship, don't increase somebody's poison. Because the thing is, the nature of envy is, if somebody is envious of you, even if you do something to the best of your intention, their poison will only increase. Even if you tried your best to repair, their poison will increase. There is no way to repair. कैसे भी आप मोल्ड हो जाते हो प्रभु. So we should not try to improve that relationship also, or try to do good to that relationship. So what Mahaprabhu did is he just avoided the Mayavadis. Is it clear? Just avoid that.
Is that we should think like putting Krishna directly to break the child or something like that?
Oh, how do we see that thing? Well, both ways are okay. One way is to see, like my spiritual master says, every suffering comes with a seed of blessing. So something to learn from that situation. Maybe it will make me more tolerant. It's also nice to see what truth is there in it when somebody criticizes us. And it's good to see that, okay, um, it's very nice if we can see that actually, yes, they are right. It's excellent. The fault is mine. That is very good to see. Because when we see that the fault is mine, then this is one way. I'm sure telling you different ways we can deal. If you see that yes, the fault is mine, then you won't be angry at the other person because you know that I made this person angry because the fault was mine. One way to see. One way to pacify our anger is by seeing that how the other person is suffering. Because if somebody is envious on us, naturally they are suffering. They are very angry. That's why it's coming back onto us. So if we see that, oh, they're suffering a lot, then instead of thinking what they have spoken to me or how they've dealt with me, we can see like, then naturally, if we see somebody else's suffering, when we can see beyond our suffering and see somebody else's suffering, then our mood will be, while chanting, naturally we will pray for that person, my Lord, please help this person. Please help so this person becomes pacified. Another way to see from Brahma's prayer is, this is my karma. This is my bad karma coming back to me. I must have, and when we have a tendency to criticize, we will be criticized. Anytime we criticize, we'll be criticized. If we mentally criticize somebody, somebody will mentally criticize us. But if we verbally criticize somebody, others will verbally criticize us. So it comes back to us also. So we can see that as our karma, we can see that there is truth in what they are speaking and I need to change. Krishna is telling me something. Krishna is helping me to work on my tolerance, increase my patience, and how they are suffering. And we don't want anyone to suffer because we see that the natural quality of a devotee is he is other suffering becomes his suffering. And when he sees somebody suffer, then he naturally prays for others. The feeling that somebody is suffering and somebody harmed us and they are suffering and we see them suffering, and if we feel very happy, then that is our envy towards them. That is not good. But is it okay?
How not to react to like maybe these things are not done in that time.
Instantaneously something happened.
Maybe after some time when you calm down, maybe this comes up.
It depends upon the different modes people are in. Like some people who is in passion, they will become confrontational and they will argue. But some people who are in goodness, they will keep quiet and they will drink the poison. Second option is better. Is drink it at that point of time. It will pain, it will hurt, will be disturbed. But then the natural characteristic of a devotee is that time drink it and then pray to Krishna. Afterwards, when chanting, when my dear Lord, please help me. My experience is anytime you pray to Krishna, it will happen. Like if you sincerely pray to Krishna, Krishna will take care of it. Krishna, please help them. Krishna, please help them. And actually, when Krishna sees that we are praying for those who are causing us troubles or pain, when Krishna sees that we are praying for them, Krishna is very pleased.
Aim for what? Like for them not to criticize, or if they are going through something.
Yeah, if they're criticizing us, then they are suffering for it. Why would we criticize somebody? Because we are mentally very disturbed. That's why we criticize somebody. If we are in a stable consciousness, we'll be only grateful to everyone, like your devotees. When our mental state is very disturbed, then only criticism comes. So criticism coming means we are suffering. Most of the time, criticism is only at mental level because devotees are trained to drink the poison. But if it is coming out from the mouth, so that's next level of suffering.
Some things are like you want to correct, like something is going wrong, but the other person is not really taking it.
Mm.
We should just better keep quiet already.
Give suggestion once, then leave it. Sometimes we go in a mental loop. That's why when we are mentally unstable, contemplation on that will lead to a lot of destruction. Unstable mind means we need some counseling. Otherwise, we will meditate and we will not be able to come out of the loop. We'll contemplate on that loop and we will be bound by our own web. Especially if you are alone. Usually when people are in criticizing mood or angry, they want to be by themselves. And then if they think this person, why, then we may go in that loop. It's very difficult for you. Mind is very, very difficult to deal. Kavadi Satpagam Sahib. Very nice. No problems. Everything is good. And why these suffering come onto us is because we give others suffering. There is one devotee. This devotee was giving lot of suffering to another devotee. And this other devotee would come and he would like, what do I do? It's so difficult. Then I was thinking, this devotee who is giving suffering has to go through troubles. Because going to come back to nobody can escape. You give somebody trouble, it will it will hamper us. So that devotee went through a lot of suffering. But the thing is, that devotee could not see it's my own thing coming back to me. That devotee was seeing it as now this person is giving me trouble, I have to fight, and this person is giving me trouble, I have to fight with this, and you become like a fighter, and you try to, and then you get into more troubles because you're giving more troubles now. And this loop never ends. That's how it works in this material world. You deal with the situation by reacting in another way, and that further entangles us. It's very cruel nature of this world. How we react depends a lot upon our moods. All of you are in goodness. Congratulations. Everybody in this room is goodness.
No problem.
I mean, I'm not saying Shuddha Sattva, but majority in goodness. So you all can live without committing offenses peacefully. In passion and ignorance, spirituality is very difficult actually. Because every time we react, and it's true. It's very difficult. So some more discussion on this.
Maybe sometimes, suppose if I talk like not intentionally, maybe other person may feel that like he is feeling bad, but the thing like when we are talking like we are thinking that like doing good, not correcting or anything, general topic talking that maybe other person may take it in other ways. So still that
Will affect us.
will affect it.
Do the right thing. Don't worry about how it affects you. The nature of the holy name is if somebody is displeased with us, you may not feel it, you may not feel the connection, still you should do the right thing. For example, your child does something wrong. And if you scold your child and he's upset with you, it will impact your chanting. That's okay. Correct it. Things that are justifiably correct, do it. Take action. Don't postpone. One should not live in fear. One should not make right decision in the fear of losing one's chanting. But you should always do the right thing. And Krishna will protect you. Otherwise, how will you take care of your services? Always there are different elements in the services. You have to do the right thing. And Krishna will protect you. Did I answer?
Another question about sometimes like maybe in that situation if we are calm, that like maybe like whatever things running in the mind that keep on prompting us that like we did not do mistake or something. Maybe in that situation, like if we are calm, if someone is scolding us. So my ego is telling me that like I am right, but though by the time I am calm, but maybe after some time, like when other situation comes or anything, like how do we keep calm, forgetting things, not to be
Explain the question again. I mean, I understood your question at the end, but I could not understand the context in which you brought the question.
suppose if someone is scolding or anything like talking
Rudely to us.
unrealistic or rude, so we do think that like I though I'm not talking like in my heart, like I feel like I did not do anything or something. So by the time situation is calm, like not responding, maybe somewhere or other in the other situation or something that will pops out. So how can we forget things that happened prior, not to remember again and again?
So somebody spoke rudely to you and you kept quiet, knowing that there was not much substance in that. And you know the reasoning, but you didn't feel appropriate to speak at that point of time because it will further aggravate the situation, so you kept quiet. Later on the feeling is coming that why they acted like this to me.
Maybe not that situation, maybe some other instance or something like I try to prove it that like I did not do or something like instead by the time if I forget that, like I won't think about that, like how do we forget along with keep calm in that situation.
You mean the past rude behavior is coming and disturbing
Yeah,
us?
no, probably like if another instance is happening now or something like maybe after 5 or 6 instances, like we do take all the baggage from old ones and then like finally blast out or something.
Well, how it's natural that we are hurt if somebody kind of like criticizes us, or again and again they are like So it's natural for us to be hurt because we are humans. It's natural. But when you feel like, why did it like this to me? When that feeling started coming, then we should immediately become conscious. Oh, I'm going in a bad consciousness. And then we are like, then we have to rectify our own consciousness somehow or other. Because the thing is, if it comes back to you, you are going to end up in another loop where something else will come back to you. Because of this mental thing that is coming back to you, you are creating a not very good future for ourselves, because we hold the responsibility of our consciousness. When our consciousness becomes angry and envious, it's going to come back to us at some point of time. So fear is good. That, oh, now I am in that loop. And then taking some action to rectify. And what action do we take to rectify is, one can be a simple prayer, my Lord, please protect me from this thing that is coming in my mind. That's why one time in the past I shared that becoming Krishna conscious means becoming conscious of our consciousness. Becoming conscious of our consciousness. One part of Krishna consciousness is we become conscious of our consciousness. Wherever our consciousness is going, we are conscious of what is happening inside. And then we check it with the principles of Krishna consciousness. And we try to maintain Krishna consciousness. It's not easy, especially if too much bombarding, then I don't know how to deal. But generally we try. So in a sense, if a lot of baggages or past experience are coming back and all at once, then it's good to identify that I am going in that loop and then take corrective measures so we can come out of that situation. Difficult. Dealing with people who are in passion and ignorance is difficult. It's difficult. No matter what you do, you cannot pacify them. Sometimes the best thing to do is anything you try to good to anything, if you try to do good to them, it is simply going to come back to you in a way. So best is sometimes the best thing to do is very carefully deal, knowing that with a fear of any time things can go wrong. In those, when relations are very unstable, deal very carefully. Deal less and deal carefully. And be patient. Let time pass by. Because once our bad karma is over, situation will change. But till our bad karma is there, let it deal with it. Did they answer? What?
This is regular signifies, and we are part of that community. So we cannot go. We cannot leave the place because the instruction is to leave the place. We cannot leave the place. So in that situation, what to do?
Huh?
Whole life goes there.
Very sad. Are they senior to you? Are they equal to you? Are they junior to you?
No situation.
Equal.
No situation.
If they are junior to you, you have to take action and guide them, because you have to train them. This is not good. Let's not go in this direction. Or you glorify the person who is getting criticized. You say like, you say like, check the intention of that person. This reminding me of Little Krishna. You know that Little Krishna movie? At least Krishna we are remembering because of it. That's very good. So you see from the perspective, if they are if you are responsible for them in some way or the other, then you try to rectify the situation by saying, see, that person is doing, maybe that person is disturbed, or maybe that person is doing with the best of the intention, but coming out in this way, or whatever it takes to help people who are criticizing maintain a good consciousness. Is that okay? Now, if they're equal to us, then we don't associate with those equals who have a criticizing mentality. We choose our association carefully because we are not the authority to tell them. Like, for example, if there are 20 devotees, I have a choice to make friendship with 20. And I will choose only those devotees as my friend, those who don't criticize. And if they hear criticism, ideally, how I see, if somebody hear criticism, then they feel very uncomfortable. If they're getting a lot of rasa, then don't sit with them. Like the ears become 4. What happened? Tell me. So yeah, that's not a good association for us. People who have criticizing mentality, we will develop those disease also. So we have to have discrimination. So among equals, if it is there, you have a choice with whom to make friendship and whom to associate how much. If they are seniors who are criticizing, see, why are they telling me this? What do I learn from that? If seniors say something, and if they are our well-wisher, then don't judge them. And see that, okay, because for example, Malti Prabhu calls me and she says, this person is like this, we should not deal with him. So I should not say, Malti Prabhu, I will leave your Sangha. She's my well-wisher. Why she's telling, I have to be careful dealing with these situations. So when senior and authenticated source, some criticism comes, it's blessing. Because they're not speaking out of envy. They're speaking out of caution. Hear it. Be grateful for that knowledge. Oh, Prabhu, thank you for telling me about this. I'll be careful in this situation. I'll be careful not to get into this. Or sometimes they speak she was telling about one case where people, like a child was molested in New Vrindavan, something, and this devotee did that. That's why he got punished like this. But she is not telling me to criticize that person. She is telling me that anybody can have any behavior. Be very careful. You don't know who is what and who has what intention. So when they criticize, there is a purpose behind it, generally. But depends upon the different kind of seniors. Some are just senior in years, kind of, but they're more friendly. Then they come in our equal association. They are considered in an equal association, even if they are senior to us in number of years, but the relationship is friendly. Then it's more of equal. And just choose association carefully. Somehow or other, we have to tune our life in such a way that we don't become the part of criticisms. It's very easy to lose devotional service. Temporarily, we don't lose it. There is no loss or diminution in this path. But at least some negativity will enter in our heart and we'll become uncomfortable. And we will find it difficult to chant the holy names. So we don't want to go into that loop. Especially, husband-wife should not support criticisms. Husband-wife should not support criticisms. Otherwise, the purpose of Grahastha Ashram is husband-wife is supporting each other to grow. Here, husband and wife are supporting each other to fall. Either husband or wife, if one of them criticizes because something happened in a temple, then the other person should give a higher consciousness. Should not support. Should not support means somebody says he's like a snake. And correct. And scorpion also. And then they both are feasting on what all things the other person has done. But the other person should say, no, we should not say like that. We have to be careful. This is a devotee. If we cannot get along with them, then the other person, the other partner should be like, okay, let's not associate with them in that case. Whatever it takes to help the other person not commit offense. Because now we don't associate a lot outside the ashram, right? Generally speaking. Because within the ashram only all the discussion happens. Outside, we are usually more careful, generally speaking. But inside, we have to be careful also. And the proof, if we are getting entangled, is you will feel negative emotions within your heart. That's a proof we should stop. Have you experienced that sometimes the Lord tells in our heart, don't speak, don't act. And we're like, and we speak. Have you experienced that? The Lord is telling in our heart, not good. That's why one has to learn to tolerate the urges to criticize, urges to speak. Any-
What is the difference between finding fault and criticism?
Finding fault is generally mental. It can be. Finding fault is generally mental. They are similar. When we find fault in somebody, it depends upon how we process the fault. When we see fault in somebody, one way to process is it's okay. Let me not focus there. Or it can be like, I have so many faults also. Or it can be like, well, this person is practicing Krishna consciousness, and over a period of time, it will go away. I mean, basically whatever it takes, because we will see it if you find fault somebody within the family, it's different. Outside, it's different. Something you can ignore. Something you learn to live with it. Something you see, it's just the modes are acting. Whatever it takes for us to accept the situation, basically come to the point of acceptance. That, okay, this person is like this and he behave in this manner, and I understand this person to be in this situation. I understand this is how the person will behave and react. So I will set my expectation to that person accordingly. And many times he will do many things which is not right. That's okay. Because I have come to the stage of acceptance the person as he is. But we're not critical, we are not fault finding, but we are just accepting the person as it is, and he's chanting Hare Krishna or she's chanting Hare Krishna, and over a period of time, they will come out of it. Krishna will arrange. Or we can see in a positive way that how this person, because of the behavior, because of the nature with which he is finding fault, that nature can be used so wonderful in Krishna service. Everybody in ISKCON cannot be like me, otherwise ISKCON will flop. So there is a need of all the other natures who can do various other duties that people of my nature cannot do. So we need them for all those services. Making sense? Did I make sense?
Between finding fault and criticism, what is different?
Both are not good, both are similar.
Yeah, similar.
Yeah.
Finding fault is like negative things finding from other person. Criticism is talking about that. But
Yeah, we can say in that way. So good. Let's read one more slide. From this very beautiful verse, we can see that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu welcomed all of these accusations and blasphemy with a smile and rejected them altogether almost as if they have never happened. Would not take it very seriously. This is the last slide we will cover because that's the last slide of the presentation. Despite leading the Sankirtan movement from the front as well as commanding the fight against material energy, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu still did not react to any adversities nor dissensions. Instead, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally taught all of us that to tolerate and cooperate is the best thing that one can do in this material world to resolve any type of conflict. So Mahaprabhu always focused on tolerance and cooperation. Can you think of some instance where Mahaprabhu was put into difficult situation and he just tolerated and cooperated? Nowhere. You remember Ramchandra Puri when he said Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu eats a lot. The sannyasi, just sannyasi by name, sannyasi should eat moderate amount and he just a voracious eater. Then all the devotees are very angry. Mahaprabhu said, I will reduce my eating to half. And all the devotees were pained. And then whatever, and then when he saw an ant and he said, this Chaitanya, he eats sweets and he wears sannyas robes. And Mahaprabhu just did not say anything. We don't see Mahaprabhu going to his associate and he's telling, you know what Ramchandra is telling? He's telling that I don't think this is too much. There should be some etiquettes. I'm a sannyasi and he's behaving like this. There should be some respect. So we don't say Mahaprabhu trying to justifying him or venting off. There is no reason to vent out because there is no boil inside. Usually we vent off when we are hurt, right? Then we need a platform to vent. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, whatever would come to him, he would, like an ocean, he would tolerate. It's actually very helpful for our Krishna consciousness. Usually the urge is now, if somebody does something wrong, suppose somebody has certain nature, then we try to make friends with those who also have negative opinion toward the same person. If you don't like somebody, then we try to make friends with those who don't like him also. And then we come together and we feel very happy. Right? Both will now criticize together. What happened yesterday? Yeah, thank you for us. And then we say in a way as if the other person is the biggest demon on the planet. He behaved like this and he said like this and it's not acceptable. The other person will say, yeah, we have to take some action. It's too much. And this person behaved like this to me. This person feels so much happiness. My ego is supported here. This person will say, yeah, this is too much. I think this is how we should do. This is a plan. You know what we are doing? Both are getting incriminated. Illusory energy is full on. But we don't see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu making groups to criticize somebody. Is it relevant or not relevant? It's very important. What Mahaprabhu would do, if somebody would come and criticize the fault finder, Mahaprabhu would say, yeah, that is correct. His tolerance was like an ocean. I know, sorry, I'm not a good example of this myself. But we want to learn. Right? He came to teach us how to perform devotional service. He would enjoy somewhere else on a different platform. Anytime you saw him criticizing Mahaprabhu, it's clear. It's not that he is living a hidden life. He's already Sarup Damodar and Raghunath Das Goswami, those are writing. But he would train Gadadhar, he would train devotees in different ways. Like Vallabhacharya would do something wrong, then he will be strict Vallabhacharya. He called him a prostitute. But not because he said something to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but because he criticized Sridhar Swami. That's why Mahaprabhu chastised him. So Mahaprabhu will become angry at Jagai Madhai because Nityananda Prabhu was hurt. So it's not that one is tolerant all the time, but any personal criticism, Mahaprabhu was tolerant. Anything to help others, he would take some strong action. Like, yeah, this is not good for this person. For service, he would do whatever it takes. But on personal level, like an ocean, he would drink it. Never in one verse of Chaitanya Charitamrita I see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu getting together with Sarup Damodar and discussing the fault of another Vaishnava. At least I did not read. Hey Raman, the Sarup Damodar, come. What happened yesterday? This they're only discussing about Krishna. No matter what is going on one level, they are on a different level. That's what our Gurujan says, transcending the problem, not solving the problem. Because problem cannot be solved. Narad Muni says the problems cannot be solved. Transcend the problem means you increase your Krishna consciousness. You read more, you hear more, you chant more. Sometimes the environment is very heated. It happens in Western preaching. You'll get used to it if you come and stay for a week. So what is the best thing to do is come to your room, close the door, and read. What Lord Shiva did when there were a lot of criticism going around. Remember Srimad Bhagavatam?
Yes, that's
Nandishwar is telling to Bhrigu Muni, Brahmanas will be poor and beggars, and he is telling all the Rudra will not get any sacrifice. कुछ खाने को नहीं मिलेगा, भूखे मर जाओगे आप लोग. He is criticizing all the Brahmanas. And Lord Shiva was like, this is not right. He disobeyed senses and left. He did not speak. We didn't hear Lord Shiva telling Nandishwar, you are correct. How can he say I have eyes like or how can he criticize me? I was just meditating on the Lord. What was my fault? You don't hear him justifying his position. I didn't get up, but I was meditating. I didn't even know he came. Why he has to become so angry at me? Makes sense? Generally, we'll do that. So we'll try to prove to others why I was right and he was wrong the way he did. We don't see Lord Shiva discussing with all his associates and making a criticism group and criticizing Daksha. Very difficult. Okay, I hope it makes sense. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol, Vancha Kalpata Vibhisha, Kripa Sindhu Vrinda Patipanam Padma.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Stop here and then